contrary, contrary, contrary. So, let's talk about the word contrary. It can function as an adjective, which means it modifies or describes a noun, commonly used to describe something that is opposite in nature, idea, or quality. For example, the new policy was contrary to our expectations. In this context, contrary emphasizes that the policy didn't match what we thought would happen. One special note about using contrary is that it can sometimes be replaced by other adjectives, like opposite, unlike, or in contrast to. But keep in mind that these words might change the nuance of your sentence. So choose wisely. I'd be happy to help you with examples of using the word contrary. So, let's say we're discussing the results of a recent study on people's habits, a formal usage. Example would be, the researchers found that the sample population's opinions were contrary to what they had hypothesized initially, leading them to reassess their methodology. Here, contrary is used in an academic or scientific context, where the tone is professional and objective. Now, let's say we're chatting with a friend who just got back from traveling, a casual conversation. Usage example would be, I knew you were going to love Paris. But I have to say, your experience there was pretty contrary to what I expected. You didn't like all the tourists. In this case, contrary is used in an informal setting where the tone is conversational and friendly. Lastly, let's say we're discussing a business strategy with colleagues, a business or academic usage. Example would be, the new marketing plan seems to be contrary to our previous approach. But I think it could actually help us reach a wider audience. Here, contrary is used in a professional context, where the tone is collaborative and solution-focused. So you want to know about that word that means something is opposite in some way? Okay, let me explain. The main characteristic of this concept is that it describes two things that are not alike or have different qualities. Think of it like day and night, they're not the same. But one doesn't exist without the other. This idea can be related to concepts like opposite, antonym, or even not true in certain situations. When we use this concept, we're usually talking about how something is different from what you'd expect or how two ideas don't fit together. It's not a bad thing. It just means things might not be exactly the same as each other. Convert, convert, convert. Let's take a closer look at the word convert. As a verb, convert generally means to change something or someone from one form, use, or purpose to another. For example, you might say, I need to convert my old DVD player into a digital streaming device. Here, you're changing an existing object's function. Another common usage is when talking about people. Like saying, many people convert to Buddhism after visiting the temples in Thailand this time. It means someone has switched their religion or faith. A key thing to keep in mind with convert is that it usually implies a change from something less desirable or less good to something better, and often involves some kind of transformation or improvement. Here are 3 practical examples of how to use the word convert in different contexts. In a formal context, such as a university lecture on mathematics, an instructor might say, to convert a decimal into a fraction, we can use the formula 0.5 equals 1/2. This example demonstrates the academic usage of the word convert, where it is used to describe the process of changing one mathematical representation into another. In everyday conversation with friends, you might exclaim, I'm trying to convert my old phone's battery to see if I can get more life out of it. Here, the casual tone and use of first-person singular I convey a sense of informality and practicality. The word convert in this context means to repurpose or reuse something that would otherwise be discarded. In a business meeting discussing marketing strategies, a company might say, "We need to convert our social media followers into customers, so we'll launch a special promotion next quarter." In this example, the word convert is used in a commercial context to describe the process of changing potential customers, social media followers, into actual paying customers. The focus on sales and revenue targets highlights the business usage of the word convert. So you want to learn about something that helps people get from one system of numbers to another. Like going from dollars to euros? It's actually quite helpful when traveling abroad or shopping online with international prices. This process mainly involves changing the way we represent values, essentially swapping one set of units for another, while keeping the actual amount the same. You might also hear it referred to as changing the currency or using a foreign exchange function. Just think of it like exchanging your money at a bank when you're traveling. And you'll get the idea. Couple. 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 Let's break down the word couple. As a part of speech, couple is primarily a noun, but it can also be used as a verb, meaning to join two people together in marriage. In common usage, we often use couple to refer to two people who are closely associated or linked, whether romantically, socially, or professionally. For example, the couple got married last year. Or, my friend and I made a great couple at the party. It's also used idiomatically in phrases like, a couple of minutes, meaning 2 to 3 minutes. Or, couple it with something else, meaning to combine two things. One special note about its usage is that we often use couple informally. So you might hear native speakers say, "We're a couple," instead of "we're together," which can be confusing for language learners. Here are 3 practical example sentences using the word couple with different tones and contexts. I'm attending a formal wedding reception this weekend where I'll be introducing my friends, a lovely couple from college, to some of our colleagues in finance. In contrast, when chatting with a friend over coffee on Saturday morning, you might say something like, "Hey, have you seen the latest rom-com that just came out? It's been a real hit among the young couple in my book club." Meanwhile, in an academic article discussing the impact of social media on relationships, it might be written, "Studies have shown that couples who maintain a healthy level of online anonymity are more likely to experience a stronger sense of intimacy and connection." So you want to know about? Well, you know. Let me explain. A couple is two people who are close friends and usually romantic partners. They often share things together, like a house, hobbies, or even a life plan. Main characteristics of a couple include mutual respect, trust, and support for each other. They might be married, in a long-term relationship, or just getting started, but they're generally connected in a way that's stronger than friendship, yet not necessarily lifelong. In many cultures, couples are considered family units, especially if they have kids together. You can think of similar concepts like pair or duo. And some people use the word partner to describe this kind of connection. As for what it does, a couple usually supports each other through life's ups and downs, shares responsibilities, and builds a life together, whether that's big or small.